Across the UK and Portugal, there's a multidisciplinary team on a mission to personalize medicine for the masses. This young startup called iLof has already won several awards for its revolutionary technology and secured $3 million in international funding. And they're using those resources to confront one complex disease at a time, starting with Alzheimer's.
Every year, the number of people that are diagnosed with Alzheimer's is growing and growing, and it will grow tremendously in the next decades. There are very, very few ways of actually understanding how to create better drugs for these diseases. So we just feel like a social responsibility to do something about it. I'm Luis, and I'm CEO of iLof, Intelligent Lab on Fiber.
Alzheimer's is just one devastating disease on iLof's bucket list. But the tech and the team don't plan on stopping there. The generalized approach used in healthcare today has left millions of people behind. But iLof is fired up about personalizing treatment for as many people as possible. Can you tell us a little bit about iLof and the problem it's solving?
So iLof was born out of the realization that for the past centuries, treatments have been developed based on this idea that the same medication will work equally for everyone. There's a lot of very great science being done that can actually help and solve a lot of some of the biggest world problems, but researchers have a hard time translating it into the market.
You hear a phrase like lab on fiber, and you just know it's about to get really technical. So sum it up for us. What is this tech you're working with?
What iLof is doing, we are using optical data. So we're using, let's say, spectrums, the way that the light interacts with patients' biological fluids, to understand the ensemble of particles in patients' biological fluids. Your peptides, proteins, exosomes, lots of very small particles that are in your blood, in your plasma, and that really make your biological profile. We're able to extract a lot of information that is then very useful for this drug discovery and drug development processes. We sometimes say that what we're doing is astronomy for biology. So astronomy normally does the same for seeing very big things that are very far away. We are seeing very small things that are very close to us, but we're actually stacking together a lot of very noisy and complex data that are actually very hard to identify.
So, in layman's terms, iLof is harnessing the tech of optical fibers, which we know and love from fiber optic internet and data transfer. But instead of using this technology to instantly send a high-resolution GIF to your coworker, iLof is using it to look closely at the data in our bodies.
It's really important to develop medications that are tailored to specific patient groups. And this is basically what iLof was born to do. So we are helping researchers, physicians in biotechs and pharmaceutical companies understand better the patients that they are creating the medications or the treatments to. And so we are cutting the time and the cost that it takes them to create these medications. And hopefully this will allow, millions of patients currently living with complex heterogeneous diseases to finally get a treatment that it's actually useful for them. Starting with neurodegenerative diseases, which unfortunately are one of the biggest epidemics of our times.
As a co-founder, what have been some challenges you've had to overcome?
Getting people to believe that you're the right person to tackle the problem you say you're tackling. There's billions of persons. Why you? Why your team? So venture capital, it's a lot about people. It's a people business. And the kind of business that we are creating, it's a business that it's very, very hard to bootstrap. Making them believe that actually you're the one to solve that problem, you're the one that has the highest chance of success, to invest in you, money, time, resources, data, it's a barrier. We actually started out on oncology, and then speaking with pharmas, it was clear Alzheimer's, it's actually one of the big problems. This is what they wanted us to work. So we pivoted, and we're still pivoting to this day. Sometimes bigger pivots, sometimes smaller pivots. It just comes, and there's not 2 days are equal in startup life, and you just need to learn to live with it.
What is your number one piece of advice for aspiring entrepreneurs?
make sure you're solving a problem that it's worth the effort, really, because there's going to be effort. There's going to be a lot of effort. Make sure you're solving the right problem, number one, and make sure you are ready to really work for it. All that idea, oh, founder, cocktails on the beach, awesome, dinners with investors, just it's not like that. That's like 0.001% of your time. I spend most of my time doing very, very boring things. If you're not solving a problem big enough, you'll get bored and you'll quit long before you actually reach your goal. Like, make sure the problem is worth it.